That's what 1,500 miles of driving looks like in dirt. So today, I'm gonna show you how I clean my car. Let's go. I'll just show you exactly what I'm gonna be using today. I'll put all the links in the description. Obviously, it's not a sponsorship. You need like a microfiber like this with like a really fluffy side. You need some sort of foam. This stuff's really good. I'm gonna look for something better, but this stuff actually is quite good. It's cheap as well on Amazon. All of this is on Amazon, I think. This is amazing. That's to finish it with. I'll show you what I'm doing with that. You need a spray bottle, a foam bottle. You need some of these microfiber cloths. You need around 3 of them to help dry. And then you need a grit guard for your bucket. So I put that in the bucket, not like that, guys, like that. And then the last thing that you'll need is a pressure washer. I think I got this off Amazon actually. This is the most powerful electric pressure washer you can buy in the UK. And it's a beast. Probably a bit too much for what we need it for, but I'll put the link in the description anyway. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is the foam test. And basically the reason I wanna do this is just to show you how clean you can get the car with foam. A lot of people recommend contactless washing. Contactless washing is basically, is what it says it is. You don't touch the car. So you foam the car down, you leave it for 10 minutes, and then you pressure wash it off afterwards. That's a contactless wash. So I'll show you that. Now, the reason I don't do it is because what a lot of people won't tell you is it doesn't actually fully clean the car. You can't get your car immaculately clean. But what we can do now is find out just exactly how clean you can get it with just foam washing it, contactless wash. So let's go do a test patch. Firstly, why do people do contactless washing? Well, when you touch your car's paintwork, you increase the chances of damaging it. Some people get like cloths and sponges and scrub the car, and that will leave like paint swirls. Tesla's paint is quite delicate, so it's better to be delicate with it, and that's why people recommend contactless washing. Unfortunately, with a white car, contactless washing doesn't work as good as you would hope it does. With other cars it might be fine, but for this car I don't think it works as good. But let me show you exactly how it works for now by setting up the sprayer. So first thing where people make big mistake with foam in the car is they wash it first or wet the car first, then foam it. That's not what you want to do. You want to have it nice and dry and get the foam on the car so it sticks to the dirt. As soon as you put water on it, you add in like another layer of liquid that's just going to make that foam slip off. Don't do that. Get the foam on whilst it's dry. And then also, just in general with washing your car, you want a horrible gloomy day like this, which in the UK we get all the time. When it's sunny, you're working against time, which is very hard. You're working against the sun, which will make your car very difficult to clean. Anyway, let's set this foam gun up. So, like I say, this is off Amazon. So first of all, you want to adjust this end to get the foam nice and thin. It takes a little bit of adjusting, and then also, on mine, you want to turn the pressure down quite a bit. So I'll just try it against, I don't know whose car this is, I'll just try it on this. So you want nice thick foam. You want foam, not water. Okay, that looks good to me. So we'll go with that. Just like that, okay? So that's it. I'll leave this to settle in this area. I've tried to put something over on this side, this little sheet, so we protected this little square here. And then now, what you do, you leave the foam for around 10 minutes. That will start to strip away the dirt and like lubricate a little bit and lift it off the paint. And then you set your pressure washer up and you just blast it off. And that's kind of it. So I'll show you guys exactly what that does in a second. We've got to wait 10 minutes. Just with the mix on this Jenny Chem stuff, they recommend 50-50. I do it a little bit higher than 50-50 because it sticks better. When you do 50-50, it slips off. That's exactly what you want. You want this to literally take 10 minutes to slip off. If it slips off faster than 10 minutes, you're kind of wasting your time. Right guys, I've got a little nozzle on this now. You can use a little, I like to use a little bit more of a circular nozzle, but this is probably better to show you because I want to keep it in a nice square. I've got like a feathered edge, a straight edge, so I can sort of keep it straight for you. It's been on for about 10 minutes. That's what it recommends. I try and leave it on as long as possible, but what you don't want to do is leave it to dry, then it'll be really dirty. So, there's a perfect example. So, if I had not done that finger mark, you'd probably think that the car was, you'd probably see this and go, oh, the car's clean. But you can actually see how clean the car should be. So this is what foam does. So that's what it was like before. That's what the foaming does, and that's how clean it should be, right there. So let me just do this a little bit more and show you. Right, okay, I'm not gonna get it too wet because obviously I want to clean the car properly for you guys. So that's the difference between the two. So there's a difference. That's if you foam clean it, that's if you just left it dirty. That's before, that's after. But, so I started foam cleaning. This is what I did. Like everyone was like, don't touch your car, don't touch your car. You're gonna ruin the paintwork. So I did contactless washing all the time. And then one time I was like, oh, yeah, it looks really clean. And I went like, look how clean that looks. And I did that and I was like, oh, look how much dirt is still on there. So you can see right there, there's so much dirt still on there. In fact, let me go get a tissue. I've got a wet wipe, a nice clean wet wipe. It's gonna do one little pass over it. So this car has been foam cleaned, contactless cleaning, and that's how much dirt's left on the car. So, whilst foam cleaning and contactless cleaning is good, and it'll keep your car looking nice, on a white car, you can't get away with it, but it does a good job. So if you're just trying to top your car up and keep it clean once a week, and then maybe do a major clean once a month, that would be all right. I probably clean the car, I try and say once a week. I'm probably doing it once every 2 weeks at the moment. So anyway, guys, let's go set the proper thing up and show you how we properly do this. You start with the foaming. So that's what we're gonna start with. And I love to cake it in it. And I know you guys online love a bit of foaming action, so let's get the foaming action going. Okay, let's start. There it is, look at that. Look at that thick foam. Right, okay, let's do this. Let's foam the car. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so you can see I've absolutely caked it. Look how thick it is down here. So, for me, I like to cake it in it. I just see it like this. Foam in the car, it cleans the car, it lifts the dirt, but for me it protects the paint. That's the biggest reason I use foam, because it protects the paint. When I start washing this down now, there's a layer between the dirt and the paint, so it's not going to scratch the paint. There's some panels that struggle with the foam, that don't hold the foam as much. A lot of that is down to this. And I'll show you this in a second, but the reason it doesn't hold it as well anymore is because of this. The first time I foamed the car, it stuck to it, but that's because of that. One thing I could have probably done, guys, which I would usually do, is fold the mirrors out. I've not done that like an idiot. I'm going to be a good brother and go foam my sister's car whilst it's parked there. Back in a minute. Jenny Chem stuff, that's lasted me about 2 months now. This is actually, I'm gonna order some more because this is the last little bit I've got. But I might order a different company just to try out a different brand. But out of a full bottle, you could I've cleaned about 3 cars out of a full bottle before. But when I'm cleaning a Tesla, I go a little bit overboard. But you could clean about 3 or 4 cars off one bottle, especially like something like this little Fiat 500. This doesn't take much foam to clean. If you have the luxury of a day like today, where it's overcast like this, you can leave the foam on a little bit longer. You can get away with leaving the foam on a little longer. If it's sunny, do not go over 10 minutes. This stuff has a slight colour to it. It is like pink. If you leave it to dry, it will leave kind of like pink stains on there. Now you can get them off, but it will leave it if you leave it too long. So yeah, but if you've got a day like today, you've got a little bit of an extra luxury to leave it on and sit it on there for a little longer. So right, the next step now, this has been on there for about 10 minutes now. Now we're gonna pressure wash it off. That's what I would call a contactless clean. So that's a full contactless clean at that point. You can kind of see there's you can see that the product does contain chemicals. It's not just foam. Just before I get started with the Tesla, this has basically had a contactless wash. And as you can see, it looks really clean. Like we've got all the beading on there. You'd have a look at that and you go, oh, my car's super clean. There will be the exact same layer of dirt that there was on that car, you just can't see it. And also the beading and all that sort of stuff, that's down to the sealant that we've used on this car. It's the same seal we use on this car. But anyway, right, let's go actually clean this car now for the contactless wash. Just to show you guys, if the foam, you can see, so obviously the wheel is the dirtiest place in the car, and you can see around here, the pink foam's gone like a browny, orangey color. Can you see it down there? And that's because the product's actually working. It is actually stripping dirt off, so it is actually working. So here's quite a satisfying the door panel. So there's a really dirty door panel, okay? Let's see what it does. Even with a pressure washer, you still want to be careful. This, if you have this on the wrong settings and it's too powerful, you can still damage your paintwork. So you need to make sure you're doing it enough to take the dirt off, but you don't, if I was pressing this against this and really giving it some, I could damage the paintwork. So you still want to be careful, even if you're using just a press washer. I don't want to get any closer to trying to get that stain off. That's like a water stain. I just touched it off there with my finger and you can see it comes off. Some things like that, they need contact to clean them. You're not going to be able to get it with a contactless wash. Another good tip, do it panel by panel. Whenever you're cleaning for anything, even when you're foaming it, really just do it panel by panel. You don't miss anything that way. I'm going to spray the rest of this down and then we'll do a review of a contactless wash. This is a contactless wash, and as you can see, the car looks actually really clean, looks really nice, but it isn't actually clean. That's the difference. It looks clean, but it's not really clean. We're going to make the car really clean. You want one of these, and you want a bucket. Now, some people recommend the 2-bucket method, so if you're going to be extra safe, YouTube that 2-bucket method. It basically stops you getting any grip, but because we've been all through that already, and we've got a grip guard in the bucket already, as you can see, I don't mind doing it like this. Now you could, like I say, you could be safe, so I'll just show you what you do. Right. Get your little mitten, nice and wet, and literally pass over and dip. That's it. Look, you can see there's some dirt on there. You can use the backside. If there's little abrasions like that, you want to be careful with that. It feels a bit abrasive. I don't like using that, to be honest. Dip. Don't do your skirts until last. A panel at a time. So that's that first quarter done. Try and do your lower panels, like your skirts maybe the bumper. Try and do them last, because if you're going to pick up grit anywhere, it will be lower down on the car. So the pressure that you're putting on is kind of just the weight of your hand. You're not putting anything more on than the weight of your hand. If you have to scrub it, those stains like that just need a little bit more attention themselves. And see if you can just pull them off that way instead. I don't really mess with the window too much. I'm not that bothered. It's the paintwork you don't double touch. The glass is not so bad. That's contactless wash in there. That's with a bit of contact. All it requires is a light touch from this. Can you see the difference? I'm going to draw a line from the clean side. Look, if I do the clean side now, there's nothing. But as soon as I go to that dirty side, you can see. So that's the dirt that's left over. But this doesn't require anything. It doesn't require much contact to take off. That's why you need to get a little mitt. Just brush it off like that. Same with your lights. You don't have to worry about going over that. You can keep going over them a few times. I know some of you can see there's these little marks. Dead flies. Now flies are very hard to get rid of, but I'll show you. If you use the abrasive side, you could take it off, but I don't recommend doing that too much. So what I would do for the flies, which I've done in the past, is you need a special type of liquid that does it. You can get it off Amazon. You coat it in and it really lifts it off. It's a little bit more chemically than the thing we've just used. I've just not got it with me today. So next time I'll show you how to get rid of those fly stains. So this is where most of the dirt is. So look, you want to be a bit more careful with your paint. Don't go back up to your paint now. Now you can wash your wheels. You can scrub your wheels as much as you want. Best thing to do is just wash each spoke and just get it in there. They're not actually that dirty, surprisingly. The fun is not over. I'd say the next bit is the most crucial. So once you've done that and you've washed your car, it's so important to move quick. One, because you'll get little flies landing on it. But two, this is the most important step, is drying the car. If you don't dry the car, your car's not going to be clean. You're just going to have water stains everywhere. So all you do is softly pass over the car. So I like to do a really loose pass over all the wet spots, like the glass. And you're being gentle with this, guys, but get rid of the majority of the water to start off with. So start to move down a little bit. Now the first pass, it doesn't have to be dry. You just have to get rid of the big droplets, okay? Again, don't touch the bottom, don't touch your wheels, don't pass over it loads of times, just do it the once. That can't be used now, that cannot be used. If you ever drop it, never use it. Luckily I've got 3, so we continue. Now there should be no watermarks on the car. The last step is to seal the car. So this is what I use. I didn't used to use this before, and then the first time I used it, we did the Scotland road trip. And when I came back for the Scotland road trip, it was over 1,000 miles. Funnily enough, the first time I did it without. The car came back filthy. The second time I did it with, and the car came back clean. And what happened was we got caked in dirt all the way there, and it rained a little bit. And because it had this hydrophobic coating on, all the dirt came off. It was crazy. So that's what we're going to do now. So what you do, take one of your clean cloths. Ideally you want it to be dry. You spray a mist. Panel at a time again. And then you just dry the mist off. You just wipe the mist off. Again, super soft. Don't mess about with it. I'm gonna go around the car, I'm gonna do a panel at a time. It doesn't actually take that long to do this, and then we'll have a look at the car. This stuff here was the last little game changer for me. When you touch your paintwork after this, it feels so nice. It's like, you know when someone shaves their head? You know when someone shaves their head, skin bald, and you like to touch it? That's what it feels like. There we go, there's the car. Look at that. I love my car so much, but when it's washed like this is when I love it the most. I feel like I've got the best car in the world. I'm super keen on keeping my car perfect. I actually think the paintwork looks better than what I did when it was brand new, and I know it sounds ridiculous, but they don't look like this in the showroom sometimes with Tesla because they're rushing them out. It's so nice to see it in all its glory. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching how I keep my car so gorgeous, please subscribe, like the video, share, all those good things. If you're thinking about buying one of these amazing machines, honestly, best car to buy. You can't buy a better car. There's a link in the description. It gets you 1,000 free supercharger miles. It gets me 1,000 free supercharger miles. I do appreciate it. As always, thank you for watching. You've been wonderful, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.